You shed light on my sins. And if we share in this sadness, then where have you been?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NBA Debates podcast brought to you by KMSU TV and Radio. I am one of your co-hosts here, Cole Clementich. Joined alongside of me, we have
Braden Byers.
Braden. Welcome to the studios. And yeah, we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to be, of course, obviously, as the name entails, we're going to be debating some NBA basketball today. And we got a guest joining us over the phone today. He is a big NBA fan himself, a big Denver Nuggets fan like myself and Braden. And Samuel Kuntz, sophomore from the University of North Dakota, joins us over the phone. Sam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing lots of great work here in the studios, and just really cool to see our director, not really our director, but our broadcasting specialist, I should say. This is kind of his actual title, Lee Johnson. He's been able to provide us with some amazing equipment. And yeah, with that being said, Sam, you're the guest. What do you want to debate first?
I think we could talk about the new rule changes the NBA made this season. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to it, but a lot of players have been struggling, like James Harden.
Yeah, like the flopping type of deal.
Yeah, like you can't just jump into a defender. Like they don't call that anymore. So a lot of players have been struggling with that.
Oh yeah, yep. I kind of have an idea. Braden, what do you think of that so far?
Yeah, I do kind of think that it overall is kind of good, but like Sam said, a lot of players are struggling with it, with that being their type of style of play after being in the NBA for a couple of years. You just kind of adapt to that, and obviously you saw even in the Olympics, some of the NBA players weren't getting the same calls that they would in the NBA, so they were struggling a bit there too.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on this one. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to, maybe not roll some heads, but this will definitely change the attitude or the mindset of a lot of these shooters. Like you mentioned, Sam, like a James Harden, or even there's that one guy down in Phoenix. I know every time he shoots, he falls down. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I think that this is a good deal for the NBA. This will definitely string away with some bad habits, kind of put them on a string and just launch them out of the game completely. So, well, maybe not completely, but it will help tremendously, I think. So, yeah, Sam, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I really like how they changed that rule. It's gonna take a little bit for the players to get used to it, but once they do get used to it, it's just gonna be better for basketball. It's just gonna be so much better just to watch it. And even a lot of the players agree. Like with the rule, because some of them have been posting on Twitter, like Kyle Kuzma. He said that this is the best change the NBA has made.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And yeah,
yep, absolutely. I agree with you again, and I think we're all agreeing on this too. Certainly, keeps the game flowing, keeps it, just going, making sure the fans, stay interested, and you always get those Hoosiers saying, "Oh man, this is a bad product. We gotta stop watching," or "I'm done watching the NBA because the product is horrible because of all the flopping." But yeah, I'm right there with you, Sam. Anything else you'd like to add, Braden?
No, I pretty much agree with all the points that you guys presented, and like Sam said, it's going to take a while for some players to get used to it, but overall, I do believe it's a good change, and the NBA made the right decision with that.
Absolutely. Well, Sam, do you have another topic for us? I know I have one. Since all three of us are Nuggets fans, do you want to discuss some Michael Porter Jr. here?
yeah, I'd be happy to.
I'll start with that. That first, I'll start with MPJ. I'll start my point on MPJ. Excuse me. He had a solid first game, 15 points. I mean, it's not world breaker type of game, but I mean, I was listening to Altitude Sports Radio, and even I saw it firsthand. He was looking pretty solid in some of the other important aspects of the game, like defending. You can clearly tell he worked on his ball control in the off season. but just the inconsistency, man. Honestly, we are going to see that 30-point, that 40-point game at some point. I think he definitely has it in him. Obviously, we've seen it before. I think it's coming. It's just what can the Nuggets do to really work with him on it? And they have gotten him involved in the offense. It's just, he's not really hitting a lot of those key shots. And will it be problematic? I don't think so, at least not yet. If it gets into like 10 games straight where he hasn't hit 20, then I am thinking, yeah, we're kind of getting close to that panic button moment. But Sam, what are your overall thoughts before we get to Braden?
Um, I think for a guy who just got the max extension, I think he needs to step up. I mean, it's
Oh
only
yeah,
6 games into the season so far, so I'm not too concerned, but I think he definitely needs to step up because his numbers are pretty bad right now. He's only shooting what 33% from the field and 25 from three, and that's just horrible.
yeah, that's definitely not going to get it done. Braden, any additional thoughts or information that you have?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with all of them. As he said, the season is young so far, but and then along with what you said, if this keeps happening, it might be something to definitely look at and maybe see as a problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like Sam said, that max contract, it's one
That
thing.
that plays into it with him getting the max deal. He has to be able to step up and prove that he was worth that.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. We're all in agreement again. It's supposed to be a debate podcast, man, but we're all agreeing here. But yeah, I think it's pretty easy that yeah, he definitely needs to step it up. But we've seen it before with the Nuggets with Jamal Murray. Obviously, they signed him to that max deal, and then once the bubble happened, he really played into his contract. And obviously, with the torn ACL now, the Nuggets do really miss him, but they're able to withstand a lot of games without him. So hopefully they're maybe not top 2 seed, but they're kind of around that 4 through 6 seed, not necessarily in the play-in territory, but I think kind of more up towards the top. Maybe again not top 2, but if they can withstand without Jamal, I think they'll be in a perfect spot when he does come back. So, but yeah, MPJ and flopping so far. Sam, anything that we can disagree on? What's one more big topic that you'd like to discuss?
Something that we can disagree on.
Yes, because we're agreeing too much.
Yeah.
One that comes to
I'm
mind is
thinking.
one that comes to mind for me is Ben Simmons.
mm.
Okay.
Ben Simmons. I know you've been waiting for this moment, Sam.
But you said Ben Simmons isn't worth the contract that he's getting. I mean,
That's
I think he is.
he was at first. I will say that honestly. I mean, you can't fault the Sixers for handing him that contract. Like he was good at the time,
Definitely.
and he showed up. Excuse me. Yeah, he was playing well at the time, and he deserved that contract. And now, if you can't shoot the basketball, like yeah, you're good for defense, but if you were more of a scorer, that's a max player does play well on both ends of the court. They're supposed to do that on both ends of the court. Now he's just if he doesn't if he doesn't get it together, man, I don't know. That's not a good contract.
Yeah. Well, I think he's listed at 6'11", 240, and he's a point guard. You can't teach that. That's like he's a generational talent. And last year he finished, I think, second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. So obviously he's going to be good for defense, playmaking. But I know he can score. There's videos of him online where he's just in a pickup game, just pulling from NBA range, and he's just cashing it. I think it's just it's all about confidence, and that really like came about last year in the playoffs when everyone was getting on him for not shooting, and teams were just kind of figuring out the Sixers because they would just leave Ben Simmons wide open, and so the floor spacing would just be horrible. But and then this off season, I do think he needs to kind of grow up because he's kind of acting like a baby. Like it was reported he
Hmm.
got kicked out of practice. Like that's something that would happen in high
Yep,
school.
I've
You
been
know,
Yeah.
he's
seeing those as of late.
yeah, but I think he is worth the contract. I um if he gets traded to a different team or different situation, I think he could definitely just thrive in that because I don't know how it's gonna go down in Philly now.
Yep, I'll give you credit, Sam. I'll give you that for sure. And certainly, if he does get traded, it'll provide a new spark, a new home for him, obviously. But yeah, I'll give you this, Sam. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He did work in the off season, working on his shooting a little bit and working out in the gym. But I'm this is where I'm at a difference. I need to see it in game action, and so far haven't seen it, or so far haven't seen more of that improvement and kind of taking a step back for him. I still need to see that he has it again. And Braden, do you have anything to add on to it?
Yeah, y'all hit pretty much everything. But in my opinion, in the beginning, he was worth the contract. But then
was,
again,
yeah.
he fell off.
Oh yeah,
And
there's no
I
doubting
think
that.
he has the potential to get back to that point if he keeps working. And then, of course, with the attitude problems, with perhaps getting kicked out of practice and stuff like that, that also needs to stop before anything else happens. But right now, he isn't really showing it. And towards the end of that last season, of course, this is like the first time he's really like fell off like that. So giving him a little bit of time to maybe just kind of get back in his groove wouldn't be a bad thing. But then again, moving him to a different team might ignite that because some players just don't do very well on the team that they first play a long period of time for. But then they move to a different team, a different staff, and things just seem to click. So
Oh yeah, and the thing is that the Sixers need Ben Simmons. Like they
yeah.
need him more than ever. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think they definitely proved that at the start of this season. Although I haven't paid much attention. Yeah, they could use Ben Simmons would be a huge boost for them. And going back again, they need him not only now but for another shot at a championship run. So yeah, but for now he's dropped off a lot. I need kind of reignite his career again. I need to see that, and it's a show it to me type of deal. But yeah, Sam, that's pretty big controversy going on in Philadelphia right now. Is there anything else you'd like to debate before we head off here? Just kind of a quick touching point.
Um, I can't really think of any topics on the top of my head.
Yeah, well, if you do, hopefully we'll do another one of these and we can do it in video format next time, and we'll have you most certainly on the phone again. Hopefully, if it all works out, maybe, yeah, we can definitely try and set up another episode if we're able to. But yeah, Sam,
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're going to call it a show there. So, yep, anything else, Sam, you'd like to say to the fans before we head off here?
Just thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
yeah.
I know you're a big NBA guy, and we're all three of us are Nuggets fans. So yeah, we're enjoying a nice 4-2 start to the season. Braden, anything else you'd like to say to the crowd, the basketball crowd out there?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been fun. You know, I'm a little bit newer to the basketball thing. The Broncos and the NFL were my first love, and then I'm also just a bigger hockey guy. But obviously, I still love the Nuggets in the NBA, and I still follow it. So it was fun,
Yep.
and looking forward to maybe a potential episode 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward if it does come to fruition. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying the Colorado sports spectrum as well. Kind of got into basketball a little later, just like you as well. But yeah, kind of growing into it more. And yeah, looking forward to watching the Nuggets daily. But that is going to do it. Sam, thank you for being on the show today.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem. And that will do it. And basketball fans, you just heard once again, this has been episode 1 of the NBA Debates podcast. Once again, brought to you by KMSU TV Radio. We thank you all for listening in, and we will see you guys in the next one. Take care.
And others fade away. These memories are what they seem. The house I knew, was it?